Hello YouTube Nation, this is Ron with RTR Gearheads. Bringing you an update on the Trans Am. Junior mentioned in his prior video that we would actually have an update coming out for you. It's been a bit since he gave you his update. We're over here right now getting the fuel injector harness adapters fitted and see if we can get it to fire up. Here in a minute I'll go ahead and give you a quick update on all the changes that's been made to the car. So go ahead and watch, subscribe, like, set your notifications. Just want to give you a quick update. It should start today. So other than that, as you see, we'll still have to get the front nose on and some other odds and ends. A subscriber had actually sent me information on the relocation kit that he used to move the alternator to the right side. Right now we just downgraded to the smaller amperage alternator. It's actually got a smaller housing to get some clearance, and we still got to make a decision on if we want to relocate it to the right side or flip the alternator and the power steering pump with another kit from ICT Billet, which actually allows you to do that. And the power steering pump would actually sit, the reservoir would sit even lower than the alternator does right now. So stay tuned. I'm gonna walk you around real quick on the Trans Am and just show you the updates, and then when Junior gets in here we'll go ahead and get those adapters in and see if we can get her to fire up. Be back with you in a minute. Alright, so here we go. Lid's open. As you can see, we do actually have the LS1 Intake manifold on there now, which actually gave us plenty of room, because we also have the Camaro water pump on there, as Junior mentioned, the ICT Billet relocation for the idler arm. See some nice wires here. Like Junior mentioned before, we're actually going to do a battery relocation from the left side of the car to the right side. The F bodies have the ability to have the battery tray on either side, with a battery tray on both sides. So this side here will actually house the stock 2005 GMC Yukon underhood fuse box and the PCM also. And then over here we'll actually have the battery. We're going to end up having to probably cut the intake tube a little bit. That way we can actually make it fit with the inner fender well in there. And like I said, there is the LS1 intake. You can see how low it sits, and I'll put a picture up here to show you how it originally sat with the truck intake manifold on it. And here is the actual truck manifold, intake manifold. Like Junior explained, we could have used the injectors from that, but they are actually shorter, believe it or not, than the LS1 injectors. So they have little caps. I might get a picture of those up here too, that you can use to extend them. Problem is that's 16 more O-rings to possibly leak. And if we did use those, the stock harness, the injector harness, would have actually plugged up with it. So these right here and those right there. But me and Junior will be back with you in a minute, and we'll go ahead and start getting these adapters hooked up and hopefully be able to put the jump box on it and see if it'll start.
Hey guys, we're back under here. About to plug in all those injector wire adapters that Dad was talking about earlier in the last clip, last part of the video. Kind of brought them out here to kind of just go over it a little bit. The original ones we got, the cheaper ones that Dad mentioned in his intro, or outro to the other video. The new injector style that's on this fuel rail, that part fit in. The other one that was supposed to be for these connectors ended up not being. The pins were a little bit too big, plus the clip didn't work. It was the way it was supposed to where it wouldn't even try to go in there. You could get it in there, but then you would risk damaging the harness, the pins in the harness, and even then it wasn't tight. So it would have just popped right off as soon as you started it if you got lucky. So we're not going with these ones. He ended up ordering the kit from ICT Billet, the same place he got the idler relocation from, and the spacers for the water pump. And those ones we're hoping should fit pretty much the way they should into these truck injector harness plugs, which they absolutely do, and they lock down. So now we're not going to pull out, and then we're just going to plug it right onto our new car style injectors with the different plug, and it's tight on there, it's plugged in. So yes, yep, clicks down, the ring's in, everything. So we shouldn't have any issues there. So we're ready to plug in all of them now, finally. Get it to where this car will start again and run for us. We haven't obviously heard it start with this intake on it. Fully expect it to try and relearn a couple things as soon as we do. Now that there's not a intake sitting all the way up here area. So hopefully the ECU will do what it needs to do. All the sensors have been swapped over and plugged up from the other manifold if they were needed. There's one that shouldn't be needed, so we should be fine there. Everything vacuum port wise has been hooked back up. Any extra vacuum ports that happen to be on here were blocked off for some accessories that we don't have. So it should just be, now that we have the right wires, plug and play, and that's it. Get it to where we're confident in it starting again, and now we'll not have any more clearance issues. Popping over to the other side now, like Dad did mention also in the other clip about getting all these wires and the fuse blocks cleaned up. Now that we're going to be relocating the battery, it does open up a lot more room on the driver's side for the ECU and the fuse block to where everything's not jumbled together. It just makes it hard to reach, and thinking of future actual drivability, if something did happen to go wrong while driving it, don't want to have to, go through all this other trouble just to check your fuses or to check your battery connections. We are going to try and hopefully move it to a just top post style battery terminals if we can. The side post is just a real big pain in the butt, honestly. Plus, nothing really uses side post anymore anyway, but it just makes it easier to attach any additional electronics to.
It was a big GM to go to side post, but top post is just more practical for jumping the car, for jumping another car with jumper cables off of it. It just did the top post. And for tender maintenance and everything, it's just a lot easier having the top post. GM will hate us for it, but for maintenance and practicability, we'll love it.
Yeah, we can always still run the dual post batteries, but our main thing is we want to turn the actual terminal connectors for everything in the car to the top post. That way, we can use the side post for additional things. We can just block them off and let it be to where they don't touch anything. It's just going to open up a world of easier. We want to make it as easy as possible to drive this car. We don't want it to go through 10,000 steps just to drive it. The whole point of the swap altogether was to be able to just hop in it and start it on any decent day, even if it's not decent. Just start it and go, as far as also just a more reliable power plant to be able to drive it with. So we're actually at the point where everything is already plugged back in. Like Dad said, spend the money on the correct stuff, so it can be that easy. There was no cuts in this part to where anything had to be done. It was literally just plug and play. And now we should theoretically be to the point where we're just moving again. So we'll be back with you when it starts up. Hey, we're back. Everything's hooked back up. We ended up having to put the battery back in. The jump box just wasn't enough. Even the big box just wasn't enough because, again, the side post, hard to get a contact when there's nothing screwed through it. So yeah, we did put the battery back in just loosely for now because, again, we still want to clean up all those wires, and plus we're moving the battery anyway, so just set it in there. We're going to do our startup. We do have fire extinguisher here just in case, because we were messing with fuel lines, getting it hooked up there. So, and we ordered a new fuel connection because the other one got messed up along the lines the other day, but that was already done by the time you saw the first clip today. So new fuel connection is the only reason we got the fire extinguisher, making sure everything runs. It is going to get quite loud in here for a second, well, for a minute or two, because we're going to let it run, try to burp out the cone a little bit, because we also did replace that water pump like we said earlier. But yeah, we're going to get it started here, and you guys are going to see it with us, and it'll be hopefully successful. But, yep. All good.
Well, YouTube, hopefully you enjoyed the video, the update on Trans Am. We still got to work. The thermostat housing is leaking a little bit, so I'll take that back off, drain the coolant, see what's going on with that. That was the same housing that was on the other water pumps, so we'll figure that out. Bleed it again. We do still have to fix about a gap, about 12 to 18 inches long in the exhaust. Other than that, everything seems to be going good. Junior and I are going to start the battery relocation, which means putting the battery tray on the left side and one on the right side, but we'll get all the wires and everything figured out, how we're going to run everything with the fuse block and the PCM from the Yukon. Junior had also mentioned we're not putting out videos as often. Little bit of a hiatus, give YouTube a break from us for a little bit and give my mindset a little break. It's constant video, actual filming, working, and editing. We're still going to be putting content up though, just not as often. Yeah, Junior's video that's coming out this evening. The Trans Am, the one we just did, will probably be coming out either this evening or tomorrow evening. And we'll also have an update with Tommy and the Apache, the current ones we're working on. After that, it might be every other week that we get a video up. Sometimes we still might do every week, but subscribers dictate, and if numbers aren't there, the interest isn't there, we might break it up a little more. But hopefully you like the update on Trans Am, you like Junior's update on the S10. There was a lot of talking, a lot of rambling, as he puts it. He gets on a thought path and just makes sure he gets it all out. He also talked about his Civic on there. The 2005 CBR 600 we are supposed to be picking up the first week of March. Again, like I told you, we will actually have probably a portion of our trip down there to pick it up, and then we will actually do a reveal, a first time reveal, walk around with it online on the video. But that's it for now. Subscribe, like, hit that notification, let us know what you think. I say we keep polling you guys to find out suggestions or recommendations of future projects that you guys would like to see on the channel. That's another reason for splitting the videos out. If we get those suggestions, it's going to take us time to actually, you know, locate the vehicle or the project somebody's talking about and get it up and get it online. So again, Ron from RTR Gearheads, from myself and Junior and Tom, thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys like this, and we'll be seeing you soon.